Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Well, something I've been thinking about and for the future stuff, projects and stuff I've been coming up with as far as survival. Fresh water is definitely a necessity for every human being and everything alive. And a lot of times, since we can't, obtain on the earth as much as water as we do have, because a lot of it is salty or just contaminated, this is a simple setup. I'm going to point out that anybody can do to whether a home-built camper like mine or onto a house, to capture the rainwater. Let me show you what it all involves. Something very simple. The first, you'll start out with a simple gutter setup. As long as the roof has a plenty ample amount of water coming off of it, why not capture it? And it's so simple. Let's take you over here. Let's get you a little closer. I'll show you what my system involves. Let's get you in there. Right here, what you're looking at is this is a 3 into reducer. Reduces it from 3.5. I'm sorry, a 3-inch pipe to an 1.5-inch pipe. All I did was just I have a screw on each side. Just goes into the little piece coming off the downspout. And inside here, what I did was put a piece of window screen. I folded it up a couple times, got it in there. It makes a nice little cone shape on the inside, and that's to catch larger debris. Come down with the 1.5-inch pipe to an elbow. Let's see what else we got. Comes over and transfers the water. Oops, sorry guys. Transfers the water all the way down through this 1.5-inch pipe. Alright. The water will continue on through the pipe to that elbow. Don't mind that. That was a mistake on measuring. The only thing I had was a T. So I just put the T in there, put a little piece of pipe and capped it off. But the cool thing about my system is, and if you notice, if you're ever looking for these i.b.c's, on these i.b.c totes, there's two kinds of thread I believe that you can get. There's a buttress. It's a buttress fitting is one of them with an odd thread, but I got lucky. Mine was 1.5-inch MPT thread on the lid. Right there was like a little plug that was in the top of this particular lid. I did not glue. Let me see. From that elbow, that pipe's not glued even down to there, and the reason is I can knock that pipe loose, undo that cap if I want to check on inside of the tank if there's rubble or debris got in there. So I left that as is. And if you notice, let me zoom out a little. I've got two 275-gallon i.b.c's that I actually acquired these for free. There's paint spilled on them. There's other kind of stuff. There was a water soluble dye that was in these. They were I contacted the company that had the dye in there, and they said it's water soluble, that I should be able to clean it out. It'll be good for collecting rainwater for such uses in the garden like what I plan on using it for. Not fresh drinking water, but I recommend if you're going to go ahead and get like an i.b.c tote, if you're planning on using it for actual storage of drinking water, I recommend getting the food grade ones. And you can get them like with anything from olive oil will come in them to other oils or waters, or there's different stuff that you can get in the food grade safe. Now these, like I said, since they contain a water soluble dye that they use it in some kind of mulch, it was safe to just rinse them out and reuse them just for rainwater for a garden. Let me show you this. This is something. If you notice that this cap is I believe this is a non-vented cap with no cutout in the top, or a little, I believe they call it a bung or a bung cap or something, that was in the center. So what I'll do with this one, I'll just drill a little small hole in the top, a very tiny little hole, just to vent this barrel out. And now I have the capacity of holding a large amount of rainwater with two simple totes to feed my garden. Now as far as how I plumb this, see, I got lucky again because, like I said earlier, this has NPT threads, which is National Pipe Thread. It has a big valve on that one, and if you look down here, this has got another big valve. Both of them had NPT thread, but these are, I believe these were 2-inch ball valves. So what I did, I had to end up putting a 2-inch coupler on there, put a reducer to reduce it from 2-inch down to 1.5 inch. Comes over from this, this is my extra tank, to the elbow, comes all the way down to a T. From the T comes, I have it reduced at the T from 1.5 inch down to 3/4 to a ball valve. And that isn't just your standard, it's not an NPT like pipe thread. That is actually garden hose thread. It comes on, the pipe will continue on, I'm sorry, to another elbow, and basically the same setup. It'll go through an 1.5 inch reducer to the 2-inch coupler. And the reason I did mine like this is this one right here is going to be my primary tank. This will hold all of my rainwater at first. But let's say, okay, this one fills completely up and I'm going to end up overflowing it. Well, what I'll do is, if I come over to this side, since this tank is fully empty, and open that valve, what it's going to do is going to allow the rainwater to come out of this barrel. The water will come around. It'll flood this pipe out fully, which if I'm using the garden hose out here, or a small 12-volt pump attached onto my solar, it's going to have this pipe fully immersed anyway. But by cracking open that valve right there, what it'll end up doing, water will always level itself out. The same way both of these tanks are fully leveled and braced and everything for the heavy water load. By cracking this one open, if that whole tank, if my first tank is completely full to the top, and that's holding 1,000 gallons is what these barrels, 1,000 liters or 275 gallons of water, by cracking this second valve open, what the water will end up doing is leveling itself out. So if I have the first tank here completely filled up, by opening the valve on the second tank, I'll be able to have two of these totes. Will be literally right in the middle. They'll meet up right, level out. I can turn around and shut this valve back off, continue refilling the first one and using the first tank, and keeping my second tank as a backup. Or just as well, if the first one gets back full, because in the Florida summer and the spring we get a lot of heavy rainfall, if I manage to fill this one all the way back to capacity, just by coming back down to this valve, cracking this one open, both of these will be completely, they'll level themselves back out, and I can keep working it till I ended up having both of these completely full at 275 gallons or close equivalent to it. At that point, once it's too full, that's where I have the option of removing the spout to fill up the first tank and just letting it run off. Or I could even, what I'm thinking about doing is putting something in place to where maybe even come back here, redo the plumbing, and I do have a third tank available that's sitting at a friend of mine's house. I just have to get it. I could always extend it to this side and we'll continue on with another tote. But I believe with the rainfall that we'll get here in Florida, I should be able to get away with just these two tanks right here primarily. And in between waterings, I'm pretty well sure we'll have enough rainfall this summer to take care of the garden. Well guys, I hope y'all really appreciated my video. If you like it, please subscribe. I'm doing a lot of projects. This is a culmination, this is the second part to my homemade camper project. And if you watch the next video coming up, I will definitely have the answer to why I'm doing all this. Well, thank you so much guys. God bless y'all, and thank you for watching.